Okay, so it's obviously early or daytime. Well, I mean, it's still dark outside, but 7 in the morning, still pitch black outside. Now it's like, but by 6:30, I mean, pretty soon by 4:30, it'll be pitch black. But by 6:30, it's pitch black, and then it stays dark until like 8:30. So, anyways, we don't get very many hours of light over here. Um, but okay, I gotta get myself on track. I've had the weirdest night. It's so fucking weird. First time I woke up, it was 10 o'clock at night still. I was like, what in the holy hell? Like, fuck. This is the longest fucking night. And then it was crazy. I won't even go over all the fucking shit. But anyways, I'm awake, but I just feel exhausted, but I really feel so much of the poisoning, whatever they're doing. When we went out yesterday and walked, and I was hearing this really loud plane, so I started looking up at the sky, and they were just putting all these like swirls up there, and then all these clouds were forming, and so then, of course, it rained last night. So it's just this nonstop. And I just saw this psychic girl who was talking about stuff that's going to be happening. And she said that we're going to get attacked by the air. She was talking about we've been attacked by all of the elements, but there's a big attack that's coming in the air, and they're doing something with the frequency to attack the different metals inside your body. So do a bunch of heavy metal cleansing and stuff, and definitely, I mean, my joint, I can't even, the joint pain is beyond joint pain. It is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like you go and you start holding the vacuum, and you start vacuuming, and like within like 30 seconds, your fingers do something weird. It's not like they go to sleep. It's like the same kind of thing though. Like the nerve becomes so aggravated that you can't do it. Luckily, I learned to do stuff with my left hand when I was a kid, because I was going to become ambidextrous. If other people could do it, I was going to do it. So I can do things with my left hand as I'm having to do it all the time. I can't believe how, like, it is such an attack on our bodies. Like it's mental. And as she was also talking about that they are interfering in people's dreams, they're going in people's dreams, they're doing all sorts of weird shit with this stuff. So I don't know. I know all those weird shit's going on. She's been ringing the bells all morning, by the way. Which I think it's kind of strange because, maybe I'm getting confused or something, because I always think of it as Cece on YouTube, and she had just messaged and said, "Oh, we haven't heard Stella ringing the bells." Well, she's been ringing them all morning, I'll tell you that. And now she's gonna sit here and whine, and I keep telling her I'm doing my work, and the but I also have a CC on TikTok, and I kept thinking it was the same one. And so I would be talking to the CC on TikTok, thinking it was the CC off YouTube, and then one day I found out it wasn't. And then there was another person too. So it's totally trippy. Is that these, I don't know, parallels. And I've been hearing a lot of people talking about these things. Like it's trippy. Like this stuff is so much different than what we thought it was. It is like I don't know, it's like this bouncing out and then coming back, because it's so different. You have to go out of it, but then you have to come back to yourself. So it's like you have to go out of what you thought it was, but you have to come back to yourself. And it's like in a new way. And it's in such a different way than what you've been told you're even capable of. They've told you, all this normal stuff is mental illness. So it's an endeavor for sure. So, so anyways, I know, I'm being poisoned from the air. I've been talking about it. And I know that they are doing it. They're doing things in all different areas. I know I'm not special. They're poisoning all sorts of people with all sorts of shit. That's what they're doing. It's all coming out. It's all coming out on steroids. Everything is like built up. So instead of where they used to do, like maybe they would just test like some kind of stuff in the water in St. Louis and 75, and they all focused on that test. No, they've got about 10 or 15 tests going, I think. It wouldn't surprise me if they have even more. They got so much going on. They've got so much chaos. And that is what they're trying to do. And I saw another person who was like a psychic person, and they were saying that all of this chaos and stuff is to try and keep people from ascending, because in order to ascend you have to focus on yourself and heal, and there's stuff to do to ascend. And so as long as they keep people in chaos and stuff, they keep them in the 3D. So I think that's pretty clear for sure. And but there's this one thing that I've been talking about for a while, and so I've got to talk about it because there's a new movement in this action. So is the one girl who had said that she had been taking her relationship very public for this really, I mean, it's still going. I don't know. I don't watch her videos because it makes me too uncomfortable. But she is, they may be still sharing their house. And he told her she had to move out and live in the camper outside or something. I'm not sure. But she said something. And so it seems that her stuff is still going on. But she does these videos all the time that, to the common folk who sees them, you think, she's trying to get a boyfriend. She's trying to be seductive. She's trying to be sexualized in all of her videos. She's trying to show her body. She's trying to get up and dance and be seductive. Come down to the camera with your cleavage coming, like all this kind of stuff. Like, why would you be doing that? Like, when I'm talking about, when you think about why you're doing something, you got to think about, why am I doing this? What am I trying to get from this? And, that's thinking through, facing yourself, seeing what you're trying to get. And see, being reactive and diagnosed, you don't think it through. You just follow your patterns. You just stay true to the patterns you've developed in toxic behaviors and toxic relationships and shit. So she is, now she's got all these video responses that she's doing to all the comments. So she's getting all these comments. These guys are just flooding her DMs, and they're talking nasty to her. They're talking, they just want to do it. And she's getting mad, and she's threatening to block them. She's making, that's a big old public thing that's going on too, because she's going through this. These guys coming into her DMs trying to get her to, and she's not going to put up with that because she's healed, and she's not going to put up with that kind of behavior. And it's so strange. And so then it's so strange how they have people convinced what healed is. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is mental. So anyways, that's why, got to use it as like a case study, because I mean, she thinks she's, doing well and healed, and, she understands her diagnosis, I guess, because she's the one who's brought it up, saying about being BPD and stuff. And so she's making this big thing, getting mad at these guys. How dare you? How dare you think, and then doing videos of putting guys down, like how dare guys think that that's the way to approach a woman. It's like, dude, why aren't you going to see the energy you're putting out is the energy you get back? The energy you're putting out is the energy you're going to get back. If you don't like the energy that's coming back at you, you got to think about the energy that you're putting out. So if you're putting out this desperation of, just trying to make all your videos just be sexy and all this, like, I mean, it was so obvious. It was so obvious, but she it's not obvious to her. She's not seeing it because she's in her patterns. She's trapped in her patterns. She's not seeing. And so she is, she thinks probably she's putting herself out there. She's trying to learn to love herself. She's doing these heavy flirtations in hope for that true love to come. That true, that guy to slide into her DMs. Oh, I've been looking for you for my whole life. Oh my God, everything about you. That's what she's wanting. And what she's getting is what she's putting out. Like, hey, it's like I'm putting it all out there. And so when the guys see that, then especially unhealed guys, low vibration, because remember, you're going to be dealing with the people that you're vibrating with. And so they are not going to, um, they're just very physical, action related, sexual, it's a messed up society. So to think like you're going to go and do this, like show your body, a guy who, is going to respect you is not going to respect you showing your body to all the guys. Like that is just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they stopped teaching that to girls. And so the girls are now mad because they think that there's something wrong with the guys. It's like, no, if you're not going to respect yourself, why do you think someone else is going to respect you? You're going to pull in guys that don't have respect for you. They are going to treat you like they don't respect you. And then you are going to turn it around and because of the BPD and play the victim, not take responsibility for what you're putting out, for what you're drawing into yourself. You're going to pretend like none of that stuff is happening. This is all happening just by accident. And everybody else is in the wrong. You're just trying to be this, whatever cool person, this, person who's in touch with themselves and love themselves and is, I don't know. I mean, now she's doing a lot of duets with a lot of girls, but it's still, the whole energy is just so, and there's so many. So let me finish this, okay? What are you crying at me about? Which this, every time these dates come and go, I swear to God, I wish one would just hurry up. Is this one now, the 13th sounds horrific. It sounds like this is not the day that we wanted to reach. Like this is the 13th now that they've put out the call for the purge. This is the day of the purge. We will, I mean, officials are saying if you live in a big city and shit, stay home. I don't know. I mean, they've put their people all over the place. Like none of us know. I know. I would imagine Seattle, Tacoma are going to be full. Fucking LA, San Francisco, Oakland, Houston. They're going to be over on the East Coast too. For sure, like Michigan, Ohio, Chicago, New York. Like there's going to be places that are going to be like, fuck. There's going to be some slaughtering going on, I'm sure. And, this is some of the stuff, you just don't know, like, what the lessons are. It's like we have to get on the other side of it. We have to see what we learned from it to know, and everything is so much deeper than what we think. Like that one girl, she's like, she's got a lot of people intrigued with this Steve situation. And I don't remember if I talked about it before, but this girl who started doing these videos talking about this weird interaction, these weird intersections that she's had with this kid ever since she started school in kindergarten. And it is so intriguing. It's so interesting. And she's married and has 4 kids, and he just got engaged to somebody who she works with. And so their lives have intersected again. And she, but it was so strange when she had heard that her person that she knew was getting engaged to the guy, because they had had so many intersections throughout their life in strange ways. I mean, like, she started in kindergarten and he was in her class, and then her parents moved to another school in another state. And so she was the new kid sitting there. And then they have an announcement. Oh, we have another new kid starting today. And then comes in Steve. That happened over and over. They kept going. Their parents would move and they'd end up back in the same schools. It was so trippy. From different states. It was so, and some of the places would be really small. It is the craziest story. Then then they went off to college, and then they're traveling abroad. They both keep running into each other in these European bars. It's the craziest fucking story. And so to me, like, I can hear the soul stuff, like these souls are not going far from each other. I don't know what their entanglement is, but they're staying close. And she is just something just came to my mind about the soul entanglement, because the person who my entanglement was with is when I first started getting triggered, and I had this like need. I got to talk to this person. This is the craziest thing. I got to talk to this person, and then I had people say like, "Oh, I know this person's neighbor. You want to go, and we'll go over there." And I was like, "Oh no, no, I know things are like, I trust the universe. It'll play out. I know it will play out. I know, I trust about timing and all that stuff. Even though you can be frustrated with it." But the trippy thing is because this just came into my mind this morning, that I think is 1 degree apart. When your friend, like somebody you don't know, and 2 people who don't know each other, but people who they know each other. If you get what I'm saying. I just find these connections that we have as being so interesting. As I'm just so intrigued with hers and Steve's story. And so she has all these really 3D people, like, well, the parents are probably having an affair and stuff. Y'all are probably related. You're probably brother and sister. So they had both already done a DNA 23andMe. So many people have done them. And it was like, I knew it was, I still feel like my nose is driving me crazy. They aren't related. And so anyways, somehow they started talking to each other. He emailed her once he found out she was going to the school, that she worked there or something. So he emailed her. And so they started talking. And so now he knows that it's blowing up. The story's blowing up on social media. She was live last night, and she's just sitting there talking like she's got just all these people are just so intrigued. But it's crazy because, it is crazy. And these crazy stories are going to keep coming up because it's to get us to understand the connections that we're not this 3D world. We're something so much deeper and so much more spiritual. And so we're going to keep seeing this stuff. It's going to keep coming up and coming up. And so it is... now she's going to go talk to him. And so she said, we'll see, because he doesn't want to be on camera, but he may do his voice. So she may do it like an interview, or she may just do like talk to him or whatever, but talk about like, what do you think it all means? What do you think, it's like, because it's so crazy to keep having this path, keep crossing. And she said they were never friends, even through all that stuff. They were still just like, friendly acquaintances, just like, oh my God, is this the weirdest thing? Like all the time, like weird. But now too, as things are changing in the world, then it gets people to look more deeper and stuff, for deeper meanings and stuff. It's not as shallow and superficial. Although TikTok has become so fucking shallow and superficial, and other people now are saying something about it. It's not just me. Because it's disgusting. It is, especially while we're trying to break free from this experience, this money entanglement that we have, this what they have us controlled by. And all these people on TikTok have just turned into just sell. And it's really, really kind of gross out. The people are just like, oh, my TikTok shop. You're selling other people's stuff. You're trying to make money off of other people's stuff. And I've seen videos like of these people, well, I'm really behind on all my stuff. I'm really trying to get this stuff out. See, they overwhelm small businesses. Like, people that don't understand business, they just don't get it. You know, this is going to be a lot of lessons, a lot of learning, because this is not, you know, this is the worst kind of business practice they have got going here. Even on Amazon, because Amazon, I think, was the first to do it, is, you know, allow all these different people to sell through their stuff. But and you can, you know, you can get all sorts of stuff. You got all sorts of people who it's their shop that they're selling. Like when you go in and you're buying, you're always buying from someone else's shop. Amazon's a third party. They take up the third party in order, well, we'll sell your stuff out. We'll package it and we'll sell it. We'll send it out for you. So, but everything turns into this corporate quality control. It all turns to shit. So even if you have a good product, but the thing is, on Amazon, everybody was selling somebody else's products. But on TikTok, they went in on the people like the herbalists, all these people who are selling their things that they've developed, they've made. And so you've got a lot of different things being sold. You got artists selling stuff, you know, people making t-shirts, making all sorts of stuff. And then in this ridiculous practice on this TikTok shop, which is the third party servicer who's getting the money, goes right back to China. Like China's always got their fucking hands in all of our money. And people just like, oh, well, look, we get to have TikTok. We get something for it. You guys are fucking sellouts. Like, come on. Fuck. Take a goddamn stand. Motherfucking shit. Just like, oh my God. And some of these people, it's just every motherfucking video. Oh, on my TikTok shop. Oh, my TikTok shop. Oh, have you looked at my TikTok shop? Make sure you check my TikTok shop. It's like, fuck off with this shit. And it really is in poor taste when, I mean, we're on the edge of fucking war. People can't pay their bills. People don't know how they're going to eat. And you're just telling everybody, oh, go buy this, go buy that. It's gross. And and they think they're making money for themselves. They think they're being real entrepreneurs. It's like, no, that is, oh God. And I feel like that shit is inside your imprint. I feel like your imprint knows this stuff. Like you can understand business if you're meant to, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, because you have all these people who are trying to start businesses and they don't understand economics or something. And so they're going and they're trying to, the creator of the product is trying to put out this product. Now they've got, you know, TikTok is going to get it out there to everybody, so everybody can get. So now you're going to be overwhelmed. You're just trying to get your product. You know, you're just a person. So now you got to hire shit out. You got to have help. You got to start. And now you got all these paid commercials that they're getting a bit of this money. So everybody's getting a little bit of this money. So your money's going down. What you're getting, everybody else is getting a bit of your product money, but yours is going down. So then you got to start reducing your products, raising your prices, because you're not making anything. So we got to go through that whole bit, you know, where we're going to see people are going to start realizing, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm selling a lot of shit, but I'm not making any money. I'd make more money if I sold 100 products just myself off of, you know, I mean, all of our platforms are all shady fuck. But, you know, it's all, but we're in a transition. So it's all going to go into a better thing. But as part of the learning thing of people to understand about business and quality, and then all these people who are trying to make money off of somebody else's work. It's like, come on, people. Like, it's, you can see why I say, like, there's so many people who just got so far to go in their awakening. It's just like, ugh, so gross. And anyways, and there's this other girl, and she's crack up, I swear. She's such a personality. And yesterday she's really on the 14th, they Ring of Fire. So we got the 13th, the Purge. We got the 12th. This is something too. So we got something on the 12th. Oh, that was this was a guy who was sharing a video, and he said this was really freaking me out. And he said, I think he was on a live or something, and he was listening. It was something, I don't remember what it was, but he said everything was written in you know, the other, you know, Middle Eastern kind of words. and or their lettering. And so but he kept seeing the same date, and people kept saying they were he translated. He took their things because he said it kept repeating and repeating, and so he took it off and he went out to the translator and he said that it said they can't wait for 10/12. They just can't wait. This is so exciting. They can't wait for 10/12. So he's like, I don't know. I'm kind of freaked out. Like, why are they all saying something about 10/12? Maybe they have a holiday there. Maybe it's the pre-purge. I don't know. This is just so crazy. Because it's, again, they want us to be in fear of these other people. But they're hired people. It's not all the whole group of people. Just like, I feel pretty fucking certain that the people who are, where people keep saying they're devil worshipers, they're demon worship, all that kind of stuff. They worship all and stuff. I personally feel like that they are Jewish. I don't feel like that all Jewish people are bad at all. I feel like they're just like all of us. Like there's extremists in all these groups. But I feel like, the Jewish people somehow have some relation to this. Because just like I had said, I don't think Jewish people see themselves as white. If you say, are you white? They'll say, I'm Jewish. And they always they're different. They're separate. And then how this whole thing about they're the chosen, they're God's people. And I don't know if this group of people, and I'm not talking about all the ones, but they have, lineages and stuff. But if they have been able to go through other ages or something, like I've been trying to even put in this age together. Because, we're keep focusing on this like 150 years, but an age is a lot longer. So trying to put together what all has gone on in our age, this Piscean age, like was our age really about Jesus, that story, and it all led up to this story. And then we're trying to put a whole bunch of other shit in with it. So, we've got so much complications, so much, but everything that we're doing is, it's how it's supposed to be. So, and if it's not, it just expand into another one. So, anyways, with, let me think and get back onto where I was. Because the people, well, I want to go back to this girl who, so she was talking about the ring of fire. And so we got the 12th, the 13th. So today's the 12th, I think. Yesterday was the 11th, I think. And tomorrow's the 3rd. Yeah, I think today's the 12th. So, fuck, man, there's going to be some shit going down today. I'm telling you, the big cities are fucking going to be so dangerous. Fuck. Even the cities where my kids are, I'm still... But even rural, I feel like we're just their perfect little patsy. Like, nobody's paying attention to them. Let's just fucking poison them. So, but in the cities, I don't know. They're always into this divide and conquer. Like, they want us to think like it's all these Middle Eastern people, all the Muslims and stuff like that. But I don't think every fucking Muslim family gets up in the morning and goes, God, we've got to get over there to America and make those Christians into Muslims. Like, I think that, I think that all this religious argument is created. I think that they are just always trying to push and change. They just want to keep us all unstable and divided and fighting. So that was definitely about this age. I'll tell you, the black and white, both sides, the what divides us. And so so whatever is going to go down, you've got to, you yourself have got to stay safe. You've got to be paying attention. You got to be watching and stuff. Like, I'm glad I've already went and got my groceries and stuff. Like, I feel settled in. I wish I wasn't just all by myself all the time. I got a lot of food. Like, I got plenty of stuff. If I had people show up, I feel like I'm set. Like, I need to get some more wood. And there's something funky with this goddamn air conditioner heater thing. Yesterday I was just blowing out cold air, so I started a fire. And then the fire, it was just smoking and smoking. Like, everything yesterday, it was just like, oh, this is so weird. Everything is being weird. Like everything is seeming like out of sync. Like I baked a bunch of bread yesterday, and none of them were baking right. And so I was like, man, is something wrong with the flour? Is something wrong with the yeast? Like, what the fuck is going on? And so it's just like this weird kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it's the energy. And so it's so chaotic, and we're in this tornado of energy, and you just kind of go with the flow. If things aren't working, don't drive yourself crazy and beat yourself up and get up frustrated. Just sit back and go, man, today's a weird day. Just chalk it up. It's a weird day. It's a weird day. And let it go. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to do what you got to do. I got to make sure I get this done every Wednesday. I got to do this, just this is the time to start letting go of things. Like, why do I set myself on this schedule? I've got to get this done at this time. Why? What is going to happen if I don't? Just all these questions to keep questioning yourself. But so this girl, the one who I was saying is really funny, is she was really on this Ring of Fire thing. Like there's a bunch of people who are talking about the Ring of Fire, and especially because David Wilcock just did that video, so all these people are sharing it. He is such he's like such a movement in the ufology community. He's been such a big part of it for so long. I mean, anybody who was interested in aliens or UFOs or anything, you got to know who David Wilcock is. He's been such a character throughout, just the same as David Icke, and Corey Goode too, but I still say David Wilcock was around for way longer. I mean, he was introducing all these people to us. He's been putting himself out there for a long time, and I think he's smart as shit. I think he's very connected, and I think he is constantly, like, I've followed him for a long ass time. So I take heed in the things he says. I listen. Like, I'm sure he's one who I ever heard about Looking Glass and all this stuff. And so him saying about that this crop circle had showed up, just what this is going to be, just like a couple months or a few weeks or something in between the Ring of Fire. So it was like showing, and he was saying, like, they're put that there for a reason. They're trying to tell us something's going to go down at this Ring of Fire. And so you got all these people now sharing about that and talking about it. And I'm sure he's getting, so many more people now to get to know who he is. And he's such a character. I really wish he would just, like, I don't know. I liked his teeth before. I liked his hair when it was just right. Like he tries too hard. He tries harder than he needs to try. I think he's got to learn to just love himself. And and it's also strange too. I just saw Paulina on Dr. Phil. Someone was sharing this, and she was talking about aging. And it's us that has to change. It's the people that has to change. And we don't have role models of a healthy aging throughout. We all are convinced, by 60, you're on death's bed, they're going to let you stop working. And it's like, no, you take care of yourself. 60 feels like 40. Yeah, you got some aches and pains, but that's the fucking chemicals. Once we get rid of that shit, it's like you're not fucking old. 60s isn't old. I don't think 70s is old. I mean, even I've seen people in their 90s sharp. Like, there's no, yeah, you're gonna change. Everything changes. Like, you're changed throughout. It's like you become more defined. So. But anyways, there's a whole thing about that, because I think that is going to be a big thing. I mean, it's one thing when you see all these old people who are like, all these young people who do that old filter thing, and then they were like, oh, I just want to kill themselves because they don't want to look older. And they don't want to look like, they all thought they were going to be beautiful older or something, and then their faces didn't look as beautiful old, and they didn't like it. So then they would rather not age at all. They would rather just not die. They would rather die young. It's like, what in the world? So all these different perspectives. See, we have to get a look at them. We have to see. These kids have to see. And aging is such a, it's an individual thing. It is how you look at yourself. It's how you look at, it really is how you look at yourself, really. I mean, there's societal parameters or whatever, but, you know, you got to break them. Who set them? If you don't fit in them, then they don't fit. And, you know, so it's time to break them. There's no social standard on any of this shit. Like, I still wear bikinis. I think I can just, because I'm 60 years old, go put on a one piece because that's what, I'm going to cut my hair because that's what people do. I'm going to do what I want to do. And so there is no parameters once people start breaking the ruling. And then it's like, well, we need a, what is that they always do on that Constitution or whatever, an addendum or something. So anyways, but so the girl doing the videos, she was all on this Ring of Fire. And so she was bringing out the maps. She was getting the doomsday map. Like, she was going on to town. Like, she's got the maps out. She's doing a whole thing. She's got people in the questions asking where they're going to be. She's going through it. Telling you where's going to be safe, where's not. And that we are about to have this cataclysm. The cataclysm is coming, which I still don't know when it's coming. Like, this is saying, these people are all saying that it's going to be on the 14th. But even the clip where I heard David Wilcock, he said things are going to start changing. There's going to be big changes that are going to come. And see, and I still feel like it's our energy. It is that our energy is affected. Something happens to outrage us, to wake us up. Something big happens. And that energy is like it pushes out and it's going to flip back. So it's going to come back. That, to me, is when the cataclysm comes. It's our energy of no more. We want change. Is this big thing. And that energy, to me, is what was needed. It's like the Dorothy clicking her heels at the end of the movie. That is what's going to bust the firmament. That's what's going to take down the ice walls and stuff. And the all this rumbling. And so it's supposed to start a bunch of earthquakes and stuff. And so this girl, she was looking up the Hopi prophecy. And the Hopi prophecy is talking about this blue star that will be seen in the sky for 4 or 5 days before it happens. And then there's going to be just tons of earthquakes. And then there's going to be all this land mass is going to change. This is in the Hopi prophecy. And so then she was putting, and I don't know if she saw the David Wilcock one too, or she was looking into something else, because she kept talking about the blue Kachina and the blue star. And then on the comments, people were coming in and saying, the blue star is on the Israeli flag. And so they're all freaking out and saying, that's going to be the 14th. It's going to be the Ring of Fire is going to start all of the earthquakes. And then plus this, what they're going to start, if they're going to start the purge on, I don't know, today sometime. So if all these things going together, but see, that would be the outrage. That would get us all to, you know, that's going to bring in that energy that's going to bring in all of this change. And it can go real close. Like this really closing in on us. I think even somebody told me to go watch Cliff. I've watched him before, and I know, you know, because I saw him on David Rodriguez's show, and like I know what he's saying, and I know how he gets his data and stuff, and so I know there's a bunch of people who are saying that like it's going to be quick, like this thing that's going to happen. Let's just say. This big crash thing, which this is there's all these people sharing these videos. Like, it's crazy how many people now are putting out videos. I think even Fox News has said Jim Carrey is I know they said he was an actor, and maybe it was the person who was doing this video talking about it was flashing Jim Carrey. There's all these people are sharing all of these videos of Biden and saying it's Jim Carrey and he should get an Oscar and stuff. So there's all these people doing that now. But so these videos that they keep sharing, is I don't ever go on and listen to him. He annoys the fuck out of me. I only see him when people share all these clips of him. And so, but he keeps doing all these farts. I was like, oh yeah, that's gotta be, it's too funny. And it was especially, it reminded me of when I started to talk and Stella started her long fart all of a sudden. And Joe started talking the other day. I think it was the other day. I don't know, because I don't know if these are older or these are just all new ones. Like, so he started to talk, and then he started some real long fart like that. It was hilarious. So, anyways, I mean, he'll probably keep doing these. If this farting thing is like something he's doing now at all these different public or press conferences or something about all the stuff going on, I don't know if that is when he's all of a sudden doing all this farting, or if he's been doing it all the time. But if he's just starting it, oh, I'm sure he's going to have like an accident. Like, they're just going to keep taking it to just Joe is just a bumbling fool. And it is crazy too, is how people think like Joe is like he has power or something. Like, he has no power at all. He is a figurehead. He's a puppet. And he has no power over the military. And so he doesn't even have power over anything. I mean, it's other people running the whole thing. So all of these different soldiers that they have coming into our country and stuff like that, that's their army. Our army is run by the commander in chief. And I thought it's kind of funny too how they keep on saying now they're just trying to get all these illegals to go in and be in our army, and you got all these people talking about it like, oh my God. Yeah, so now they're just gonna let all these illegals just go in and be soldiers. So don't you think, like, they're all, all this conjecture about all of this stuff going on. To me, it's all, it's a show to get the conjecture, to get the people talking, to get the people to wake up, to get the people to think. And so it's not gonna, we're not gonna really go into all these things, but there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna keep happening. But it's not like it's not the future. It's what we are being exposed to, so we can see where we were headed, see what we've done to ourselves. The whole government thing, I mean, I think that's, well, it's obviously in other ages too. It's a part of the human experience or something, but that is what's changing. See, that's what's changing through this. Once this, the firmament and the ice wall and stuff goes down and opens us up to be able to travel the other land masses, it opens everything up. It's not like we're going to go back. It will stay opened up. That's why you have to raise your vibration to get there. And that's why they want to hold you back, because they want to keep you back in control. Because there is no control. Once the ice wall's down and the firmament's down, what's holding us back? We can go wherever the fuck we want. But it's us doing it. It's all of us waking up. It's our outrage. It's like, knowing we don't need to be contained, and learning how to love one another through all of this trauma. Because, it probably, because I've heard some people talking, some like Israeli and Palestinian people, that they all get along, like they're neighbors. They don't have problems with each other. They don't go to the grocery store and flipping each other off and stuff like that. But the Palestinians were the like the indigenous people. They were and they're always in all these different scenarios are always the ones being shoved back. And I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, was there people who were Jewish people making up all these other religions? Because what I think that they are is, I think that they are into like Kabbalah and mysticism. I don't think that they are like when they're calling on energies like Baal and stuff. They understand about energies. They're into mysticism. The stuff that I talk about, the stuff, like, they understand that stuff. That's the hidden knowledge. That's what they want to, they hold for themselves, because they don't want you to know, like, you're a fucking angel. They don't want you to fucking know what you are. They want to hold you back. And so they practice all this mysticism and stuff. But I wonder, I'm not talking about like the regular Jewish people. I'm talking about like this fucking Rabbi Finkelstein and stuff. Like, for his stuff to keep coming up at the same time and all this stuff, is like, fuck, dude. Like, fuck. That guy, oh man, it's stomach turning. If you haven't heard his fucking interview thing, go listen to it. It's sickening. And so, like, that's him, Rockefeller, Schwab, Sora, all those guys. They're all the same attitude. Gator Boy, Froud, they're all the same. They're all just gross ass. Ugh, they're so gross. And anyways, if this blue Kachina, this Hopi thing, if it goes with this Ring of Fire thing, and so if shit goes down, like if they go and start attacking all these people in these cities, I mean, you got to keep on remembering too, whatever happens to you is always, it was written in the stars. Whatever happens is happens to you for a reason, and the reason is always for what do you do with it? How do you overcome it? How do you grow from it? What do you do? How do you respond? This is also you, your soul, not God up in the sky who's waiting to condemn you to hell. You, your own self, for you to see yourself, to see how you act, but be aware of it. Like, you can't be in this closed off sleeping state and you're just following your patterns, not questioning yourself, and then throwing your diagnosis around like it. Especially like if you really understood your diagnosis, you would understand, like, you're deflecting, you're trying to pretend like it's just this whole victim mentality. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. And then you're just coming at me. You're coming at me like you want to have sex with me when I'm just going out there. It's like, think about what you're actually doing. Like, it is a desperation for attention. You're trying to get attention. You're desperate to have somebody give you something. And she's also the one who fights. Like, she won't give anything to herself. She thinks that's weird. So it's a development into getting into that place, because she's so stuck in this needing something from somebody. She's got this one broken relationship. Now she's got all these other guys who are harassing her at the same time. So she's the creator of her own chaos. And people just don't see it. People don't recognize it. That's why it's such a perfect case study, because she's not the only one. This is common. This is like regular shit. This isn't like, she's some sort of weirdo. No, she's just living normal. She's just living like we've all lived. But we have to see, like, okay, you got your diagnosis, so you know what the things you do wrong. You have to be honest with yourself. You got to go in and look at yourself. You got to be aware of yourself. If you want to make changes in yourself, you got to be aware of yourself. You got to be paying attention. And you also need to pay attention to what you're putting out there. And if you're going and being confrontational with people all the time, and then people, push back on you, then you got to realize, like, you don't need to go around being like, maybe you're talking too much. Maybe you think you have got so much to say, but you need to, like, think about. And there's one thing too. If you feel like you've got a lot to say, go on and do stuff like this. Go out there, start spreading your message, start talking about your perspective, start sharing it, start finding people who are on your same wavelength, that are in your same place. Heal together. That's what I think this girl's doing. I think she has a big following, and she's, going through this big public thing. And I'm sure there's a lot of girls who are going through similar things, and they're going to be watching her, and maybe some of them are judging certain things, but that's good for them to grow and heal. That's good for them to see, like, no, I don't want to do that. Like that, no, why, because as she's playing it out, she doesn't realize all the perspectives that are going as she plays this stuff out. And, that's what I've said about all of these different things. Like all these different people who are doing a lot of this playing stuff out on social media, like a lot of these spiritual people who are, tell people the rules of spirit, what you got to do. And all these people who keep telling people like, oh no, you're on your best timeline now. We timeline jumped. You're on your best timeline. Dude, you don't tell somebody else what timeline they're on. Like, what in the holy hell is going on in this fucking spiritual community? Like, it's whacked out. And, I mean, we're not just all just jumping into these timelines. Like, I don't understand what these people are always jumping into all these timelines. I swear to God, every day we jump timelines. We're on a different timeline now. It's like, it's basically the same for me. I haven't changed timelines. Like, y'all have apparently changed timelines 5-6 times, and I haven't changed it at all. So, I mean, if you find you're changing timelines while they're changing timelines, I don't know. I don't even know what these people assume is the timeline change. Like, maybe that I get up at 1:30 and then the next day I get up at 3:30. Well, I've jumped timelines now. I'm on a whole different timeline. I don't fucking know. I don't even know where they're coming up with this stuff. The only thing I know of is, you have a soul in this place. Your soul, your essence of what you are, who you are, is the real part of you. Everything else that isn't the real part of you isn't real. And the real part of you doesn't need any of the rest of this stuff. The rest of this stuff is around you so you can identify yourself, so you can understand yourself, so you can see yourself, so you can watch yourself, so you can witness yourself, so you can understand yourself, so you can see, oh, that's what I am. Oh, that's who I am. Oh, that's how I act. Well, is that how I want to act? Am I happy with how I'm acting? It's all about that. It's about you. And there's so much more deeper purpose to life. It gives so much more meaning to life when you have a spiritual understanding. Like everything else is shallow and superficial and fake and phony. But it's a game. If you come in to play that game and, you're going to enjoy that game. I know that I came in for this transitional part. I came in to help people realize they were in a game and it's time to move into true life, real life. And you got to let go of whatever it was that you created to play the game with, the persona that you developed in order to make your avatar where you thought you could win the game. There was no win in that game. It was just playing it out. It was just lessons. It's all about learning. There is no winning. There is no ultimate winner. There is no, it's just a bunch of realities and realms and creation and, it's energy just out experiencing itself and going in every possibility, like a squirrel going through every possibility to experience and learn about itself. And in that development of energy, it is, energy became conscious of itself. Energy became developed and conscious of itself. And then in this recognition of trying to understand what it is, and it's like we've developed into all these different personalities, perspectives, all these different personas, all these different cells. We all are independent. None of us are the same. Even if here there's a weird thing, about how some of us look like each other and stuff, which I think, I'm really curious about that now. I'm really curious about where that is going to go. Is that, the other couple weeks ago, because I have people tell me I look like different people. Usually it's always like the same people. It's weird too, because it's what people who look at you, what they pick up on your face. So it's the perceiver. The perception is theirs. So they perceive how they experience what you look like. And their eyes put it together features that match some other ones and stuff. So anyways, it's trippy because of like some of the people that they'll say. But I've had Roseanne Barr a couple of times where people said, man, you look like Roseanne Barr, are you her sister? And it's like, no, but I'm pretty sure we're both from the Ukraine. I'm pretty sure we both have heritage there. I'm pretty sure I've heard her talk about that. And so I don't know if that has something to do with, us coming from the same place. But I'm wondering, like just the one girl who did her 23andMe, and then she found out she's related to all these people because they did some kind of a thing for all these famous people who were related to this one same guy who she was related to. So all of these people had this guy, a lot of famous people had this uncle that great, 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 great uncle, and they're all related. This guy had a shit ton of people come from him. Like, I don't even know. And so he, his lineage is out all over the place. And so, it would be curious to go back and see, of the different people who we are related to. Because there's people around us that we're related to and we don't even realize it. And there's so many people where our souls are connected to. Like, but see, it's part of the game was to not. Because if you were thinking about all that stuff, you weren't playing the game enough. You weren't focused on the game. So you were thinking about all this other stuff. But you needed to be focused on the game. So that's why you have like a veil put over you, like a something to hold parts of your memory back from you so you can keep a focus. It's like putting a viewfinder on so you're not paying attention to the rest of the room. You put that on so all you see is what you're supposed to see. So it's kind of like that through life. But the weird thing is because, we can acknowledge that and we can understand it, but we're transitioning from it. So we're going through this period of time to transition and to remove the blindfold, to remember, to understand, to go deeper. And there's so much depth to this place and to this world and to our beings themselves. And so in all of this time of transition is, that is the time of transition is what leads us into the age of Aquarius. We are developing it by going through the trauma. We're going through all the trauma, and it's what leads to the development of peace on earth, on, this golden age, this beautiful time that we got to go through a lot of hard shit to get to this beautiful time. But, there's a lot of people who are saying that, it's once it goes down, it will go fast. Like whatever's going to happen, like if it happens today or whatever, that it will, whatever goes down, it'll be some huge trauma, some horrible thing. People will be traumatized and dealing with whatever their own shit is. And then it will be, that will turn things. And the big thing too is the crash. I mean, I don't know if fucking Joe is just walking around, staring backwards and stumbling around, can't say his words, is like, he's got a flatulent problem. I think in one of the things too, it had the two women standing behind him and he was farting and they're like, probably gagging. But there are people in masks too. So it could be all a show. It could be just, those little fart noise things. So anyways, but whatever is going to go down is going to all be leading us towards the thing. Like it's going to be bad, but it's going to switch. And then the reactions are going to still be like whatever the earth has got to still do. We still have, because it is a cataclysm. It is like it's in the Hopi thing. It is like we're going to lose a lot of the land masses are going to change. It's just going to be a huge change. It's just like a big rollover But she's going to be rumbling and rumbling through. And then you're going to have all these people who are going to freak out. And they're going to just freak out. It's going to be so destabilizing. It's going to be really hard for them to see themselves, especially if they've been doing a lot of really bad things and stuff. It's just going to be overwhelming shame and guilt. And I think too, when people commit suicide, that should be a clear sign to us that it's a better place. Like, if they want to leave from this place and go to a better place, I mean, because that is awfully risky. I think your soul knows it's going home, but it is. But don't forget that even the people who take that way out, that was always going to go. You can't take it out prematurely. It's impossible. You can't go before you can go. It doesn't matter what you do. Seriously, it doesn't matter what you do. You can't go before you go. You're stuck. So, and, through all of this trauma and all this shit going on, can feel scary to feel stuck, to feel like, fuck, I just want to get out of here. But, people go and they try and take their own way out, and they end up with horrible things. Like, even my stepsister, who was saved from suicide, I think she was dead, I don't know, maybe she was dead 6 minutes or something. There's all sorts of weird shit about her whole thing. And she has a severe brain injury, but she still has a life. She lives in a nursing home. She's happy. She's happier than she was. She was very miserable and sad and depressed all the time. And, now she doesn't do drugs or anything. I mean, she was very self-deprecating. Like, she was just, she was in a lot of pain. So she's lived her life differently now. She hasn't lived in that same kind of pain. But anyways, but when you kill yourself, you don't always die. That's just the way it is. And like when I was a nurse, like I had patients who tried to shoot themselves in the head and shot their faces off and still stayed alive. So it's, I'm telling you, you can't go before it's time for you to go. Even when you feel like, God, I just want out. But that's why I said, it was like, if we could just tap out all the time, we would constantly be like, oh, too hard. I'm out. Too hard. Nope, I'm going. And we got to go through the hard stuff because there's a benefit. That's the whole thing. There's a benefit to getting through the hard stuff. And we're going to have a great benefit after we get through this one. It's going to change the whole world. But it's like, but that also shows you that it's going to be pretty hard thing to get through because it's going to change the whole world. And the whole world is changing. I mean, right now it's all changing. And I kept saying that some of this stuff can be over in some of these other countries. Because what I was saying, like in some places, like, in India or Turkey or, Saudi Arabia or whatever, you go to these places and it's all those people. I mean, they may still have some immigrants or people from other places, but primarily it's all this group of people from their place. Like it's all Italians in Italy, all, you know what I'm saying? And so, this I had heard too from somebody else yesterday, but I thought it was like matching what I was saying. But they were saying something about that there's going to be, some big attacks like what is already going on, because it's also happening in another place too. I can't think of what other place. Like there's so much shit going on. But they were saying that there's going to be some of these places where these whole groups will be going because or they're under attack from like there's more going on than like some of these battles are with other groups that have been going on for a long time. So, like I said, like to me, like the Middle Eastern people, they remind me so much of the Anunnaki. Like if they are all like more closely related to the Anunnaki. And we don't even know all of the different mixes because they've done so much lab work here. But when you go back to like when they were here, trying to create the people. And it wouldn't even surprise me if Middle Eastern people were Anunnaki that were left here. But that's what I'm saying, is that there's people here from other places. And this person was saying that there's some kind of there's fights going on that are way older. You know, these fights are way, they're like galactic fighting. And that is one of the things too that's supposed to be about this earth plane. It's supposed to be about all these different groups coming together in order to not fight anymore, to come together, to accept one another's philosophies. And that's what's so important. That's why it's so weird, is like when I'm putting mine on out there and somebody would come in and try and tell me to change mine. It's like, dude, you're going against what we're trying to do. We're trying to open up and accept everybody's. Everybody's perspective matters. Everybody's view of the earth, of the world, of life matters. Everybody's perspective has a place. So you don't come in and start telling somebody else, you know, that I need to change how I look at things, what I look, you know. It's like, no, go out and start talking about your own stuff. Go out and start putting your messages out there. Go, you know, open your throat chakra and start. And that, I guess, apparently is what they're really trying to do, is keep everybody down away from their throat and heart chakra. They're trying to keep you down in the lower chakras. So you have to push past it. You have to push past insecurity. You have to push past all of the things that they want to keep you bound down with. Because that is all they want to do, is hold you back. But you have to be the one who wants more for yourself. So, and, you know, you got to overcome insecurities and stuff, you know, and it's a process. So even if you feel like, well, you know, you have something to say, you know, you just got to go out there and start saying it. Just start putting yourself out there, and then you'll see, like, once you do, it will... Once you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you won't have the same kind of overwhelming kind of fear. Like, I don't know. Like, when I started doing this, you know, it was scary, and I was insecure, but I had such a strong motivation. Like, they were pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And so it's like you don't really have much choice. It's like I had to overcome it. I had to overcome my insecurities about public speaking or public judgment. And, you know, that was something that, I don't know, I feel like it held me back a lot throughout my life. And so anyways, but we're all on our own journeys, you know, we're all on our own thing. And, you know, and we're coming close. Whatever's going to go down, it's coming close. Like, if they are going to start purging today and just start slaughtering people, like, they're doing it everywhere. And so, look, you know, just keep remembering that, because it's going to feel overwhelming and get people down to see just tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. And you got to keep remembering, these are these souls' stories. These are these souls' roles. They're coming in and play this role. Some of the roles are so horrible and so outrageous. It is to get our attention. It's like they're martyrs. It's like they are trying to... The stuff that appears to be happening to them isn't really happening. So you got to keep that in mind. But it's, you know, part of the illusion, part of the tricking our brains. And, you know, and our brains are tricked. There's just no doubt about it. Like, I mean, think about, you know, songs. A song comes on right away. A vision comes in your head. We have all these things that are just automatic associations in our mind. That is what they did with all their programming. And that's why, you know, unprogramming yourself is, it's work. I mean, we were so programmed. It's just, it was so purposely done. What was that I just saw? It was something else about school. Something else about the programming and stuff. I can't remember what it was. It was something on an old movie. It was just like, oh my God. I'm telling you, the old movies. Let's just start watching the movies from when they started programming us. It's just, it's crazy. But anyways, whatever is going to go down, like if it's going to start today, you got to stay safe. It's all going to start running into each other. Everything's going to start running into each other. The it's like it's all coming together so we can see all the corruption, how bad it really was. Like we got to see how bad it really was. And it was bad, real bad. When the people running the world are stealing your kids and eating them is bad. Like it's bad. So, and when they manipulate the fucking tea, like, oh my God, it's bad. So, you know, we got to see, we got to see. And so it's going to go through, you know, that stuff. Then the money crashing, that's going to be, you know, a real benefit to us. It's going to, when you all of a sudden you realize like, fuck, I don't have to pay any bills. I don't have to stress about getting to work. I don't have to worry about this. Like it's going to be such a, but then there's going to be, you know, so much processing like, oh my God, I wasted so much of my life. What did I do? You know, that's part of the process. That's part of you letting go of who you were, letting go of the character you developed. You got to go through the process no matter what it brings to you. It's going to bring you, it's going to feel like you're just getting kicked over and over, like looking at the parts of yourself that you had changed in order to be a participant in this reality. Where you're going to feel like, oh my God, I just constantly put myself aside. I constantly wasn't taking up for myself. I was always trying to please other people. Like all of those different things. Like you're going to feel bad about yourself as you re-experience like going through it. And that is the part, you know, where you got to be kind to yourself, not be hard on yourself. Just go, you know, be gentle on yourself, you know, and treat yourself like you would treat somebody you cared about. Start there. Like we're so mean to ourselves. And then we wonder why we're sick and, you know, so it's got to start with being kind to yourself. So through the thing, when everything starts flipping, like I know a lot of the people who are listening right now, I mean, I'm kind of talking to people who are in the future. I've always been talking to people in the future. But I know a lot of the people who are listening to me right this minute, you know, everybody, they're already doing the work. They're the ones who are probably, when things shift, because they've been doing the work, all this good stuff is going to start happening for them. They're going to see big changes start happening in the positive. And if they don't, just keep working on yourself, because that's what it all is. It's just getting rid of all of the negative, getting rid of all the dark so you can get up in there in the positive, in the good energy. So you got to, you know, let go of all of the dark energy and all of the crap, all of the bullshit from this reality. And, you know, I mean, just look around you. It's like fucking shallow consumerism, artificial fucking people think like you just see somebody and that's true love. It's like, no, it's, you gotta, it's a soul connection. Like, fuck, you gotta go with your soul's connection, not just any old Joe Blow that comes up and finds you pretty and wants to go out with you. It's like, there's something so much bigger, so much bigger. So anyways, I don't know. I feel like I'm just going around in circles again, saying the same thing over and over and over. But whatever is going to go down, is like we're close. And it should, you know, we do have some big things to get over. We have a lot of things that are going to be coming. So, you know, you just got to keep your own sanity. You got to keep yourself sane. And on the days that you feel insane and the days you feel sad and the days you feel like overwhelmed, you feel them. Feel those feelings. Allow yourself to feel those feelings. They're real. You know, don't hide from your feelings. Don't try and discount them or put them aside. They're you. They're your process. So you got to feel them. You got to go through them. That's why they're coming up. So go through, feel them. Feel them to whatever depth that you need to feel them. If you need to sit in bed and cry for fucking all weekend because, you know, there's not going to be movie theaters anymore. We're not going to be able to just safely go to the movies anymore or something. Like whatever it is that you feel like you've lost out on, that you feel like, you know, I can't believe that we're never going to have that again. I can't believe that that part of our life is over. You know, whatever it is that you're processing, you know, feel it. don't shame yourself and don't feel like you don't deserve, this is a huge loss. This is a huge thing that is happening in our lives. And it's a huge loss to think like we were living one way and we thought we were living a certain way. And, and now everything has changed. Everything is being shown to us. And, there's a lot of loss happening. So much loss. People are losing jobs, homes, family members, friends. Like, there's just, this is a time. But just keep in mind, we're not really losing anything. It's part of the game. The whole thing is for your reaction. It's for your growth. It's for what you do with it. And you have also got to recognizing yourself when you're becoming overwhelmed, when the information's too much and you need a break. And you yourself has to figure out what that break is. Do I need to spend time, drinking tea and doing breathing and focusing on happy things? Do I need to do some crafts? Do I need to do some art? Do I need to do some writing? You've got to go in and figure out, like, what do I need to do to process through this? Because you got to figure out your routines and the ways to get through it, because we got a lot of stuff to go through. We still got more to go through. It's, I wish it could be just like snap and we'd be in the age of Aquarius. I wish it would just be like snap. The money's gone and now everything's great, but we got to go through the process. We got to go through the development. We got to go through the steps. So there's more to go, and we're doing it in a huge, huge group. And you know how annoying that could be. Everybody's going at their own pace. So when you become irritated with the pace, that is for you to go in and to work on your calmness, your, and I have to do it all the time. I have to constantly be like, ugh, God damn. And the way it drags on and drags on, the way it's so sad. And it's just like, oh my God, so much pain, so much trauma, so much sadness, so much fear. So it's, it's a lot. And, it's draining. So anyways, whatever you need to do to get through this, be true to you. Be true to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And realize we're going through something that's never been done. This has never been done. We're the warriors. We're the explorers. We're the ones that are doing this for the first time. We're switching from one age to the next. So it's very exciting, and especially because we're going in such a quantum leap in this age. We're going to go so far into, the future of technology where we've been so held back. So we've got so many good things coming. And, I got to say this too before I go, because this is some bullshit. I swear to God, this motherfucking people. Also, yesterday, so Stella was out on the porch, and she was going. I was in the kitchen doing something, probably cooking bread. I was like on a fucking mission trying to figure out what the fuck with the bread. And so she goes crazy barking. She was going crazy. And then I heard Alfie next door, so he's barking. So they're going crazy. And I can tell when someone's there. Her bark changes. So I look out the window, and there's a guy standing at the end of the driveway with a fucking notepad. He reminded me of like a British police officer or something. He had this yellow vest thing on, and he has this little pad. And so I just look out the window, and I see him, and I just turn around and walk back in the kitchen. I was like, fuck you. I didn't invite you here. I don't have nothing to say to you, dude. I would not be talking to any of them. Like, it's anybody who comes up and tries to approach you. No. I mean, there's like so much shit. You're not even supposed to. They're sending out perfume samples in the mail that will kill you. So do not, don't open up emails. Don't open up texts. Don't open up mail that's not, just throw it away. You got to be a lot more on guard. And don't go around talking to people, especially these people pulling up in these, these are people trying to tell us that they've got rules over us. We've got to not acknowledge them. We've got to be like, no, I don't need a ruler. And, we got to take our risk of whatever it's going to be that happens when we stand up for ourselves. Because that's what's the important thing is you stand up to yourself. You be true to yourself. Like, I can't believe I just saw this video. I didn't even watch the whole thing. It was just like a quick second. This girl was saying, why in the world would we be fighting for this old document that's hundreds of years old or something? Like, we're not fighting. We're fighting for our right to be free. What? Like, what is life worth if it's not worth, if you, So, then I saw him, and Stella was going crazy. Luckily, she didn't run down to the thing. She stayed back. And he stayed there, and then I think he probably saw me just turn around and walk back in. And so then I saw him walk, and I saw him go, and it seemed like he went up to the next driveway. I was like, well, that is weird. And see, they can't cross mine because of that thing, except for that one guy. The guy who came to put the smart meter on, he didn't fucking care. He didn't care. It says, don't trespass. He just comes and, it's like, dude, you know how risky you're being? Like, people can shoot you. People would shoot you. Like, you better know where you're at. It's crazy out here. And you just come moseying up on someone's property and start messing with shit on their house. Like, dude, they've got you out doing some risky shit. I wouldn't be fucking... Now I go out there and he's being all friendly. Yeah, I imagine you better be friendly because you're going to get yourself shot out here. Not by me. I don't have any guns. I got bug spray. So then I was just like, okay, so what in the hell is that? And I was looking everywhere I could to see a car, some kind of official car or something. Like, who the hell is this guy? And why is he? And I go down to the end of my driveway. There was nothing left. So I don't know, but you got to watch out for these people. Don't go out and just think, oh, if they show up, that you got to go talk to them. And then the other thing, I didn't pay that ticket, right? And so that was a year ago, I guess. I don't fucking know. I think it was, oh yeah, it was because it was when I went to the baby shower. And so he's 11 months. So it was like a year ago. So, I think I already had said about, I checked my insurance thing just out of the blue. And all of a sudden it goes almost double. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are they going to say for this fucking ticket? Because that guy said he wrote that ticket for 5 over. And then the judge tried to charge me $100 for it. And I was like, fuck that. Like, I was so pissed. I told them, fuck you guys. And I gave that lady, the lady at the court lady, a little talking to too, about human rights. So then I hung up on her. And then, so I finally, I could not believe everything is fucking online. You can't, there's no fucking people anymore. It's fucking mental. And so you can't go and find out, like, why are you raising my insurance and what are you doing and all that stuff. So I was going through all these things, trying to email, do all this shit. And all the things that would say contact us would take you into just this automatic answer. It was so fucking bullshit. And so finally, yesterday I go on their website because they keep trying to tell you to get their app. So you get their app, but then you have to go to their website in order to get a chat. So I finally, go on their chat thing. It's not on their app. You have to go to their, it's ridiculous. So then I go to, I get a person. And she said that I had a ticket. That's why it went up. And I said, for 5 miles over on the freeway, you're almost doubling my insurance. And she said, well, the ticket we got said 15 miles over. So, she said, do you want me to see if you have any discounts or something? I was like, yeah, because I'm going to go and look for a different insurance company. But this is what fucking pisses me off, is you see how it's all linked in there together? How it's all like a big scheme? Like, they force us to have insurance. They give us tickets. Like, it's all the same people being paid all the time. It's always in all their little fucking ways in order to always get this money back around to them, to keep us always. It's bullshit. It's total bullshit. And so I can't fucking wait for this bank shit to fucking crash, man. It's such bullshit. I couldn't. The courts, you just send it to the insurance company. The insurance company, you're going to raise this. Oh, my God. What a fucking scam they got going. It's such bullshit. So anyways, it's frustrating and it's a scam. And, you got to see it, but I'm not gonna get so mad I'm gonna go down there, have a fit. I'll just pay the thing or get another insurance company because I know it's all about to go. That's the one thing that just keeps me going all the time. Well, yeah, this is the fuckery why you guys are gonna all fucking go down, is because I mean, you can only take so much from the people, right? We only had so much to give. Once they've taken more than we had to give, this is why everything's blowing up. So, anyways, just keep being really truthful to yourself. Keep being honest with yourself, because it's like really a shame to see this girl, like she just doesn't get it. And she's her own worst enemy. She's playing a game that she doesn't even want to play, and she doesn't know how to get out of it. You've got to recognize your patterns. You've got to see what you're doing to create the life that you have going. You've got to, it's just go deeper. It's the whole fucking thing. They want to keep you in the shallow. They want to keep you in the superficial. They want to keep you just, it's not who you are. You are, you are a deep fucking soul. So you got to get back in touch with that part of yourself. And you have magnificence. You can change the things you want to change. You're not stuck. You're not stuck being, a dependent victim. You have the abilities to change whatever you want to change, but it takes work. It takes, you have to actually put in the effort. So anyways, I will talk to you later. Just stay safe. Like if shit's going to start, if they're really going to, is this another fear tactic to just keep everybody on edge? Or is there really going to be, I would imagine there really is going to be some violence. I think we can depend on, there's going to be some violence up until, for a while. We're going to have a lot of violence. So people have got to stay safe. You got to stay. I mean, people got to realize what the fuck's going on. Like, but it's the people who don't, they're going to be out there getting hurt and shit. So anyways, just stay strong. And that's the thing that's so sad, is like just all of this ignorance and pain. And it's hard. It's hard. So be gentle on yourself and feel your emotions and know it's temporary. Know we're going to get through this. Things are going to get better. This is the creation of things becoming better. It's things were so bad that, we're going to turn it better. It's going to become so much better. It's going to become, as horrible as this is, it's going to be, I think it's going to be the opposite of how horrible this is, but I think it's even going to be more. I think it's going to be even, it's going to feel like goodness on steroids. It's going to feel like, we've gone from a nightmare to a dream come true. So it's going to, we gotta get out through the nightmare. We just gotta get through this nightmare. So anyways, stay strong, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.